So as I try to share my mind adventures, the ones I've been through lately in the last several years, I'd say, I keep asking myself lately: is it fair to share this stuff? Is it even safe? Because what I've been sharing so far is just I'm just trying to set some groundwork to try. I can't just give you the full blown thing, because first of all, you won't understand it, and second of all, you're just going to write me off right away as some kind of crazy loon.
Before quantum physics, we used to think that it's there, it's out there, whether I'm there or not. You're there, you're out there, whether I'm here or not. The chair, the table, the bears, they're here, whether I'm here or not.
But, for centuries, mystics hid these things behind symbols and silence, and now, they're surfacing everywhere online. You have, Buddhist masters and stuff that are trying to save the knowledge before, it might just be lost forever. The same way with other mystic type teachings and stuff. And, even the mystic Christians and things, that's all coming out now. So I was wondering, maybe there was a reason they kept it hidden. And, I don't know if it's my place to even share.
It seems so crazy, absolutely insane, to say that they're not, that you wonder, what the hell is he talking about? How can that be so? How can he even say that?
But here's one thing I've learned. We can't unsee this once it's out. Once understanding hits deeply, there's no going back to normal. Something shifts permanently, and sometimes that moment feels almost funny, like, searching the whole house for your car keys, only to realize that they're in your hand the whole time. You ever done that? I'm not admitting it. But you think, when you look down and see them in your hand, you go, how did I miss something so obvious? Well, because the truth isn't out there. It's inside us. It's just waiting. It's begging us to notice. Throwing hints and dreams and synchronicities and odd moments of clarity. Anything to get our attention.
This representation of what we would be if there was a person is a trick that your brain is producing, and associating your conscious perception as observer to that thing is a sleight of hand. And if we are able to dissolve the sleight of hand by changing the neurochemistry of our brain or meditating so much that we figure out how it actually works, we basically realize that our consciousness is somewhat independent. And so what...
But it always doesn't land so gently. It's more like a scene out of the Matrix, when Neo gets shown the truth and he rejects it. And he wants the old reality back, even if it never made sense. And sometimes we do the same. We brush the strange moments off, and we call them dumb or crazy, and we bury them under a routine or something, but the insight creeps back.
It's happening then to our consciousness. And it seems we can bind it to other objects. And if we don't do that, it might bind itself to the entirety of our models, to our model of reality, to our universe. And suddenly, subjectively, people who meditate or use LSD get into a state where they realize, oh my God, everything is conscious. And it has always been. Why didn't I notice? And
then we may turn to science for reassurance, but you're thinking that it's it'll keep everything neat and tidy, but now we're finding out that science itself is cracking open, Space-time is being called not fundamental, and headlines like space-time is doomed, and quantum research or quantum results that don't line up with the old world views. The same thing, like Bohr was trying to tell us, the early quantum pioneers, they were just flat out saying a century ago that they knew, and the world's not as it seems.
You and I are interacting with each other through quantum waves. My meat brain sees you as an object, but yet everything that you are sits in quantum space-time down at the Planck level, and you're not even mass. You're just a series of, in some people's minds, vibrating fields and objects.
We just kind of ignored them and, pushed it away and swept it under the rug. And, the old shut up and calculate thing was happening in physics classes. I think that was Richard Feynman that was famous for saying that when students got too close to that kind of mystical thinking. He said, just shut up and calculate.
This gets translated into panpsychism, but it's a category error, because what God conscious are, they are representations. It's not the physical universe. It's not that suddenly they discover the quantum mechanics and particles and whatnot is conscious. No, they're ideas of things. Or the idea of what it would be like to be a photon, or the idea of what it would be like to be a cell, gets instantiated in their mind as a dream, and they think about it and they experience that thing as a conscious agent that is basically having a first-person perspective, but it's now a first cell perspective or first photon perspective. And it can be even multiple looking at each other simultaneously. And when such a thing is happening, it's probably pretty mind-blowing.
So when the insights hit, whether it's gently or like a shock, you might deny it, you might run from it, you might try to bury it. But once you've seen beyond the surface, you can't forget it. For a while you can pretend, but you can't unknow it. You can't stop seeing it.
Local realism is false, and space and time are not fundamental, then the assumption that brains and other physical systems that are quote unquote local realistic systems would create consciousness, that has to go too. We have to rethink from the ground up. So this is not a small thing. Science needs a new foundation. Space-time can't be it. Space-time is doomed. And so we're going to have a new mathematically precise foundation. And that's why again, these are my friends and brilliant colleagues, but we're doomed to fail at solving the hard problem of consciousness if we assume that space and time are fundamental and objects in space and time like neurons. We cannot solve the problem that way because those assumptions, our best science tells us, are false.
Okay.
And so if we start with assumptions that our science tells us are false, good luck trying to boot up a theory.
Sure.
No, I think I'm getting more convinced because before, as I told you, for me, meditation is this, monk sitting in a cave and, and watching the wall for 4 hours or something like that. So that's for me meditation. I mean, I'm stereotyping, of course.
I see you, and you are, really just a collection of particles that have no actual form, right? You just, at a higher level, you have matter and I perceive you as a person. But at the end of the day, there's nothing there. You're just a bunch of waves.